Remy, let me start by saying something that will annoy many Nigerians today. The problem with Nigeria is not just bad leaders. It's also a people who refuse to confront bad leadership and who prefer to blame the messenger instead. A Nigerian government spokesperson lies on international television, gets caught with video evidence, and some Nigerians are angry, not at the liar, but at the journalists who exposed him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nigeria's national sport, denial and deflection, especially by the ruling party. In my opinion, Nigeria does not only have a leadership problem, Nigeria also has a self-deception problem. And nowhere was that sickness more visible than in the recent Buwala reputational suicide on international television. A government spokesperson goes on a global platform, lies repeatedly about statements he made publicly, and he gets caught with video receipts. He knew any 16-year-old with a smartphone could fact-check those statements in 5 seconds. Still, Daniel Buwala went on there and told barefaced lies with righteous indignation too. But instead of some Nigerians collectively hanging their heads in embarrassment and asking, how did we produce leaders who lie so casually on the world stage? What did many do, especially those who are supporting the government at this time? They blame the journalists. Suddenly, the problem is not the liar. The problem is Mehdi Hasan's interviewing style. Some people, even those we used to respect as thought leaders, are even writing long intellectual essays accusing Mehdi of journalistic blood-sucking. Blood-sucking? My brother, Oremi, if you enter a boxing ring voluntarily and get punched, is it the referee's fault? Mehdi even announced beforehand that he will confront Buwala about the government he represents and his record. The man always says what he's going to do. But Daniel Buwala claimed he was not told he would defend his own personal record. The clueless Buwala claimed he was surprised, like in, really? Umashu. So what exactly was the surprise? That the internet never forgot what he said? That facts still exist? Or that a journalist refused to clap politely while a government official was lying on the international stage? This to me is Nigerian disease. We always blame the messenger, never the message. Remember when Trump allegedly called Nigeria a shithole? Instead of looking around us and asking ourselves why a country with so much talent, so much resources, and intelligence still look the way it does, Nigerians spent weeks screaming about the alleged insult. Nobody wanted to ask the other question. What if the insult was a mirror? If your house is on fire and someone shouts, your house is burning, the solution is not to fight the person shouting. The solution is to put out the fire. But Nigerians would rather argue about the tone of the alarm. Look at how we debate corruption. If you accuse a looting politician, very few want to address the looting, especially those who are supporting the party, the APC. Instead, you hear, but the other tribe looted more when they were in power. Or your own party also stole. Or that governor also did worse. As if that is the issue. So the logic becomes, since the others stole, let our own thief continue stealing too. And this is the kind of argument I hear from some so-called very intelligent Yorubas, my own brothers and sisters. Now, what kind of national reasoning is that? You accuse Tinubu of skewing appointments towards his ethnic base. Instead of debating the facts, someone immediately replies, but Buhari also appointed many Hausas and Peter Obi will do worse. So because Buhari did it, or Peter Obi may do it, it is now national policy? You accuse someone of rigging an election. Instead of discussing the evidence, whether I rigged or not, someone replies, Peter Obi also rigged in Anambra. So rigging is now a moral inheritance for us. Eyami, this culture of deflection is killing us. And Buwala demonstrated it perfectly. After that disastrous a reputational suicide where he was caught lying multiple times. His response was not shame or reflection. No. The clown doubled down on the Nigerian playbook. He said there are bad government officials in the United States too. He said terrorism also exists everywhere. He complained that he was not informed he would have to defend his own record. Imagine that. Imagine that. A government spokesperson shocked that someone asked him about his own words. When asked about Nigeria's struggle against terrorism, his answer was essentially, terrorism exists everywhere. My friend, Daniel, this is not a defense. That is an admission of incompetence on behalf of your government, and you should get fired for it. And the worst part, he said it with righteous indignation, as if the world had committed a crime by expecting Nigerian officials to be competent. I was so embarrassed watching that interview that I almost dug under my desk. Then I remembered, this is a recorded video now. Now listen, my fellow Nigerians, we cannot solve a problem we refuse to confront. We cannot improve our nation by attacking the people pointing out its failures or weaknesses. Deflection does not cure embarrassment, it multiplies it. If we want Nigeria to rise to the level of its enormous potential, we must abandon this childish habit of pointing fingers everywhere except at ourselves. Sometimes it is true, the critic is wrong. Sometimes the critic is annoying and malicious. Sometimes the critic is hypocritical. But none of that changes the central question. Is the criticism true? Until Nigerians learn to answer that question honestly, we will continue to repeat the same cycle of embarrassment, denial, and national underperformance. Truth does not fear scrutiny. Only lies do. Truth does not destroy reputations. Lies expose them. Nigerians will start rising the day we stop blaming mirrors for showing us our faces. And we cannot fix a nation that keeps attacking the whistleblower instead of the thief. And when our leaders commit reputational suicide on the global stage like Buwaya just did, the solution is not to attack the journalists. Deflection is the favorite sport of a nation afraid of self-examination. So the solution is to demand better leaders. Get this man fired. Get better leaders. Until then, the world will keep watching us, shaking his head and wondering, why are we arguing with the mirror? Rather,